Hey YouTube, so much to talk about today, but I'm gonna keep it short. Well, I'll try to keep it short. And then I wanted to speak with everybody regarding credit once again. Okay, you may be wondering, why am I holding the soccer ball? Why am I wearing this sweatshirt? Well, I'm wearing the sweatshirt because it's a little cold today. It's Memorial Day weekend, 2021. It's raining outside. I'm here in my office, and I didn't want to turn on the heat, so I just put on my sweatshirt, and it's not that cold, but it's cold enough for a sweatshirt. Um, and I just got off the phone with somebody who I've known for years. She is an amazing person, and we were talking a bit about credit, and not so much about credit repair, but the things that you can do if you have good credit, like the money that you can save and all that. And one of the things that kind of dawned on me after the phone call was done, one of the things that dawned upon me after the phone call was done, looking down at my shirt, at my sweatshirt, also is that we're all in this credit game, right? And I know that sometimes I hear on TV or people just saying, "Oh, you know what? It's all a game." You know, people know how to do that stuff, and especially when it comes to finances and the way that I guess the market works, the economy's going, and people say, "Oh, it's all just a game for people." And you know what? You're absolutely right. It is a game. This is a game, and just like there are regular games like soccer or tennis or baseball or basketball, there are rules to the game. So let me just go over some of the rules of some of these games, right? So number one, soccer, right? So I'm holding the soccer ball right now. Can I do this? Can I hold the ball when I'm on the field playing soccer? No, can't do that, right? If I want to make a goal, do I make a goal in my own net or in the opponent's net? It's got to be in the opponent's net, right? What happens if I'm dribbling the ball and I pick up the ball? Can't do that. What if I slide tackle somebody who's not even by the ball, right? That's a red card, all right? You're not playing by the rules of the game when you do that, right? So, how about basketball, right? Can you double dribble? Can't do that, right? Can you foul somebody, right? Can't do that. You're going to get, whistled on, right? Can you goaltend? Can't goaltend either, right? All right. How about tennis, right? Can you serve the ball and the ball goes over or behind, I think over like the line on the opponent's end? No, can't do that. Can you get the little tennis ball, once it goes on your section, you pick it up and throw it back? Can't. You got to use your racket, right? How about, well, what's another one? Football, American football, right? The reason why I say American football is that just to not get people confused between football or soccer and American football. Anyway, so can you do, if you're running with the football, can you, you notice somebody is going to tackle you, can you just throw the ball at somebody and hope that they catch it? Or unless it's I think it's called a lateral pass, you can't do that, right? So my point is that all these sports, right? Life is just full of rules, right? And sports has rules as well. Now, people, whether you believe it or not, all right, whether you recognize it or not, whether you acknowledge it or not, you're in this credit game no matter what, right? So every time you put money in the bank, you're playing the game. Every time you go shopping, you're playing the game. Every time you subscribe for Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus or the gym membership, you're playing the game. Every time you go out to eat, you're playing the game. Every time you go order something on Amazon, you're playing the game. Every time you're paying your mortgage or your rent, you're playing the game. But you got to make sure that you're playing the game wisely and correctly, right? I'll give you, I'll tell you exactly what I mean by this, right? So, and it's just not based on today's phone conversation, but just on some conversations I've had in the past, right? In these past few weeks. So, first of all, what I was telling this person on the phone today was that, look, if you're gonna order on Amazon, right? And if you have good credit, just get the Amazon credit card, because everything that you buy on there, you're gonna get 5% off. I mean, imagine if you purchase $1,000 worth of items every single month. I know it may seem excessive, but there are people who order $1,000 worth of items every month. So that would be what, $50 back that you would get cash back. Multiply that by 12 months in a year. That's $600. Now, $600 is $600. Okay, and that's just Amazon. That's just one place to go shopping at. Let's say you go to Target. Okay, people go to Target. There's a Target credit card. That's 5% off of everything as well. Let's say you go to Costco. There's a Costco credit card. You can, every time you go to Costco, you get money off when you use their credit card. Home Depot. All right. For all you contractors out there, I mean, today I was at Home Depot today. I was walking over there. I didn't have to buy anything. So look, it's raining. I was walking in Home Depot. The reason why I walk in Home Depot is because it's big, and I have this what do they call it, a Keystone habit. All right, that I walk 10,000 steps every single day. That's a goal that I have. It's a Keystone habit that I've had now for several years, maybe for 2 years now. Now, I reached those 10,000 steps. I'm going off for like a little tangent here. I reached those 10,000 steps probably like 6 out of the 7 days of the week. Every now and then I get really tired and I don't have time. I do have the time. It's just that by the time I'm able to get those steps done, I'm really tired or exhausted. But anyway, I did about 3,500 or 4,000 steps today inside of Home Depot. I was that really weird, interesting guy who just had his Bluetooth on and listening to videos and stuff. Just walking around, didn't buy anything. But my point is, I was at Home Depot, and as I'm walking by the cash registers, right, I'm seeing people drop cash. They're paying cash for all the items that they're buying, right? And I know it's just, people don't know. It's and I just felt like going up to all of them and the ones who are not utilizing a Home Depot credit card and saying, "Hey, you do realize that." I mean, you not that you do realize, but don't you realize? And they don't. That's the thing. They don't. All right. That every time you purchase something here at Home Depot, if you use that credit card, you can get 5% off of everything they're buying. So I would see contractors with, carts of lumber, right? And I know, and other items and tools, and I know it comes out to thousands of dollars that they have to spend. And sometimes I see contractors and they pay in cash, or they use a credit card, or they use a debit card, right? Can you imagine if somebody spends, let's say, $3,000 just on one shot on, tools, materials, tiles, lumber, nails, whatever it is that they're buying, right? All right, 5% off of that. Just on the one time that they're visiting Home Depot. And these are contractors who probably visit Home Depot every single day. All right. Can you imagine the amount of savings, all right, the amount of money that would go back into their pocket if they utilize this Home Depot card, all right? Lowe's, same thing with Lowe's, 5% off, right? Target, 5% off. Costco, I can't remember if it's like 2 or 5% off of everything that you buy. Once again, Amazon, 5% off of everything. So in other words, people, what I'm letting you know is that you're playing the game, whether you realize it or not. So if you are the person who is going to Home Depot and you are paying with cash or with a debit card, you're playing the game. You're just not, but you're the one who's holding the ball while you're playing soccer. You're holding the ball in your hands, or putting the ball into your own net instead of the opponent's net. Okay, this is my point. You're playing the game. You're always playing the game. All right. I've made a very conscious decision to make sure that whenever I pay for anything, I always use a credit card that I get some sort of money back. So if I go to Home Depot, I use my Home Depot card. If I go to Target, I use my Target card. Every time I order from Amazon, it's automatically deducted from my Amazon. Now, I am in no way suggesting that people max out on their cards. I'm just saying that if you're going to use cash, you know what you do? You make these payments with your credit card, okay? And you pay it immediately, right? Because you're going to pay cash anyway. But guess what? Now, instead of paying that $1,000 in cash at Home Depot, right, or at Target, right, it's only going to come out to what, 5%, $950, right? Why? Because you're going to get the 5% back. You're going to get it back either most likely as a credit, and you can use it as that's what I do. I use it as a credit back to the balance that I have. Okay, which is never like a lot anyway. I always keep a little so I can use that cash back to pay off that remaining balance that I have. Right. Um, I mentioned earlier, when you go to the bank, all right, it's Memorial Day weekend. Okay, I'm sorry. When you go to the bank and you deposit money, right? Let's say you're somebody who has, and once again, I'm bringing this up because it's based on the conversations I've had in the past few weeks. You're somebody who has, for example, $80,000 in the bank, and it's just there. It's just sitting there, right? And it's not even in the savings account. It's in the checking account, right? And the bank is doing you a great favor, right? Supposedly, and they're saying, you know what? Because you have more than $2,000 in this bank account, we're not going to charge you a monthly fee. Okay, all right. By then, hopefully, they've already told you, hey, you should put it in a savings account to maybe at least accumulate some. I mean, at least get some interest out of that, right? Now, how are you not playing the game successfully when you do this? I'll give you an example, right? So I do real estate, and in real estate, there's something called tax liens, right? Against property. So let's say there's a property that doesn't pay their sewer bill for a year, and it comes out to approximately $1,000. All right, you with that money, okay, with just $1,000, you could go to a tax lien sale and buy a lien for, let's say, $1,000. That's it. Let's just say it's the first time you're doing it. That's all you want to spend. Okay, you don't want to put all the money you have in the bank into tax liens. You just want to spend $1,000. Okay, so you will probably get 15, maybe 18% return on that investment, depending on, well, it's not that depending, it'll be prorated, right? So like, let's say you don't get that tax lien paid back until after 365 days, exactly 365 days. And let's say it's a 15% interest, right? So that $1,000, you're gonna get that back plus a few other fees plus the interest, which is now is gonna be $150. That is probably 15 times better than leaving your money in the bank. It's not doing anything there. And guess what? You're playing the game just by leaving your money in the bank and it not generating more money for itself. Okay, and for you, you're playing the game, but you're not playing it the way it should be played. All right. I think the point of this video is that people, please, whether you realize it or not, okay, and whether you acknowledge it or not, you're playing this credit game. Take advantage of it. Look, we're in Memorial Day weekend right now, okay. I remember 4 years ago when I bought a car. I bought a Toyota. All right, I went to the local Toyota dealership and I bought a brand new car because it was a Memorial Day weekend and because my credit score was high enough. I got the car. I purchased the car that I wanted at 0% interest rate. 0% interest rate. Okay. Can you imagine how much I've saved already? Well, let's do the math. How much I've saved just because my credit was good and because I was playing the game. So the car came out to about, let's remember the rule of, what is it? I equals PRT, right? So interest equals principal times the rate times the time, right? So it was a $35,000 car, right? Right. And let's just say that if it was any other weekend and if my credit score wasn't, that great, I would have gotten maybe a 4% or 5% interest rate. But let's just keep it at 4%, right? So 4%. And I got this loan for 6 years. So let's do times 6, right? So let's do the math. I knew I was going to need this calculator for something. I wasn't anticipating for me to do this math. So 35,000, all right? So let's convert this. So 35,000 times, let's convert this from a percentage to a number, right? So it'd be 0.04 times 6, right? So 35,000 times 0.04, all right, times 6 years, right? So that comes out to $8,400. All right. So that comes out to $8,400. I saved myself $8,400. What can you do with $8,400? Think about it, and answer that honestly. What can you do? Where could you have gone? What could you have invested that into? What, maybe a down payment for a house, maybe a down payment for a car, maybe to fix something at the house, maybe going on a vacation with your family, right? Maybe paying off a credit card bill, right? Look, this bank over here, right? And I know people say, "Oh, we got the big bad bank." The banks are not bad. They're not bad. They're here to help you out. You ever heard of Sam Walton? Right? Sam Walton was the founder of Walmart. Okay, and back when he was a retailer, and they're still retailers. Okay, well, the company's still they're doing retail sales, right? So back when he had about like 20, 25 stores, I think, and I read his autobiography called Made in America. It's an amazing book. I highly recommend everybody read it because you can pick up little habits that these amazing individuals have, right? Sam Walton by far was not a perfect human being. None of us are, okay? So we all have good things about us, and we all have not so good things about us. My point is that I want to imitate, right? In fact, I have it over here. Imitate the wealthy, the little habits that they have that can make a difference. So what he did was, once he had, I think, his 25 or 30 stores, I think it was his sons who were by then young attorneys, were telling him, "Dad, if we work with banks," because he did not want to take out a loan. He's like, "I don't want loans. It's gonna make no, 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 no." He had that old school mentality, and I think his kids told him, "Dad, if we work with banks, if we become a publicly traded company, we will make more money." Okay. Sam Walton was like, "Cool, it's cool in the gang. Let's make it happen." Like that, he became the wealthiest person in the country. Okay, he opened up all these stores. He still was the number one, I think, shareholder of the company. Right, his family right now is extremely wealthy. All right, not rich, wealthy. They do so many good things for the community. All right, and I know people have their opinion on on Walmart and this and that. My point, I'm going to go back to this, is that this individual, Sam Walton, who began from basically nothing, just with hard work, a great work ethic, and just constantly always, doing something and wanting to grow, he is working with banks to make himself wealthier. Okay, and this is what banks do. They help us out. We have to help them out in return as well. So the relationship has to be something that's mutual. Okay, has to be reciprocal. Okay, so going back to this bank, all right, so $8,400 I'm saving. Why am I saving $8,400? Because let's go back to this math. So the same car that I bought for $35,000, instead of 4%, okay, now this is at 0%, right? 0%. How do I convert 0% into the number? Well, simple. It's now 0.00. But remember, what's 0 times anything, right? So 0 times 6 is 0. 0 times, now that 0 times 35,000 is 0, which means that now my interest payment is $0. So I'm not making any interest payments. All I'm doing now with that car is I'm just paying my principal off. That's all I'm doing. All right. Now, this is also reminding me of what an individual told me a few weeks back, and she was like, "Well, I was told by this person that you never pay, like whenever you buy a car, you don't finance it. Okay, why? Because if you have the cash, just pay it off in cash." Can you imagine? If you have good credit and you're getting a 0% interest, and you still want to use cash, why would you do that? Okay, why would you do that? All right. So if you're gonna pay cash for a car, all right, but instead of doing that, you leverage your credit to get a 0% interest rate, you're really paying the car in cash, except you're doing it in either 60 months or 72 months, right? Because now you're avoiding the interest, which is what this individual's friend had told her, okay, to prevent paying interest, right? Now, let's say, if she had followed this other person's advice, all right. Actually, let's just say with this other person, right? So let's just say this person is buying cars or has purchased his cars at $35,000 each. Think of all the things he could have done with that money. All right. I just talked about tax liens, right? He could have maybe had, he could have bought, $15,000 worth of tax liens, right? In the past 10 years, 15 years. I mean, the guy would have multiplied his money easily. All right. So what I'm letting you know is that, once again, I will never apologize for sounding like a broken record. All right. When I say something multiple times, it's because I'm in a way trying to emphasize it. Right. So we're all playing the game. People recognize it. Everything that you do. All right. When you spend money, the way you save money. All right. You're playing the game. All right. Learn the game. All right. I was so happy with that phone call today because part of the conversation was that she, towards the end of the conversation, she seemed. I know that I helped her out, and that's what I want to do. All right. The way that she expressed it, I mean, it just it made me happy. All right, and this is why I'm probably also doing this video, because I want other people to understand everything that she is understanding now. All right. And, for those of y'all who are watching this video, okay, you understand that now. Okay. And it's really on you now to make those changes, right? Or to, if anything, just give me a call and, I can help you out. Right. Especially to those individuals who, are going through tough times right now, and you know, are living paycheck to paycheck, right? Look, I tend to be quiet sometimes, and I observe people, all right? I've observed friends, and I've observed family members or anybody who I'm around, and I recognize that there are people who are struggling out there financially, right? But I also do kind of see their lifestyle, and I see what they spend their money on and their time on. And I just, sometimes it's almost difficult to keep my mouth shut, but I have to out of respect. But I'm reaching out to y'all out there and just letting you know, look, just reflect on what you are doing every single day, what you're spending your time on, right? Are you that individual who is, works 40 hours a week and says, oh man, like I am still like living paycheck to paycheck, but then all you do after you work, instead of like maybe spending time with your kids, you watch Game of Thrones. You know what? I've never seen one episode. I don't give a shit about Game of Thrones. Like I don't look, with all respect to that show, I don't care about that show. Look, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Huge. All right. Have I seen The Mandalorian? No. I don't care. It's gonna take time away from what I do. Okay. There's all these shows on Netflix and Disney Plus, and so many distractions out there. I do not care about that stuff. Okay. I mean, yeah, I take breaks and all that, and look, every now and then I'll watch it, but it's not like I watch it all the time, right? Because I've come to a point right now where I just say to myself, this is taking, they're taking away my time. They're taking away my credit, right? My precious time, so that in a way they can get me to, just keep on buying more of their stuff. I don't subscribe to that stuff. That's just me. But going back to what I was saying is like, please reflect on the things that you do. All right, and it's not just like the time that you spend in front of the TV. I'm not just but do you go to Costco and spend $200 at a time and not use that credit card? Are you the same person who's also, you know, struggling, right? Like, oh man, I have to go to Costco now. I'll spend $200. Well, you're really not spending $200. You can really be spending $190. Why? Because you're using the Costco credit card. Or are you that contractor who you're just struggling? And I know what it's like. My dad was a contractor. I know a lot of contractor friends, and sometimes people, sometimes it's tough, right? Why make it? It doesn't have to be as tough if you use your Home Depot credit card, right? Are you that person who you know is once again going through a difficult time right now, and but you find yourself needing things on Amazon? I mean, there's millions of people who shop on Amazon. All right, are you using that Amazon credit card? All right, that you can get. Now you may be asking yourself, okay, well, my credit's not good enough to get it. Look, give me a ring. Let's see what we could do about it. All right, there's individuals who back in August of 2020, right, which is not even a year ago, they had no credit. When I mean no credit, like not even bad credit. It was like no credit, no lines of credit, nothing, right? I said, look, these are the things that you could do. All right, these are the people who you should be speaking with. These are the line of credits that you need to pick up. You know, now their credit score is like in the high sixes and the low 700s, right? In less than a year, right? Now these are individuals who can get, these credit cards, and they can take advantage of the game that they're playing anyway, right? So you might as well be good at it. You might as well learn the game. There's almost no excuses now. Now that you've seen this video, now that hopefully you can see, how motivated I am, with this, how much this impacts me, to share it with y'all, right? So that you can make your life better. All right. Man, there was something else I was thinking about right now, but it left my mind. I don't know. I think about it some other time. So please, people, learn the game. All right, it's very simple to learn the game. Take the time. You have the time. Please don't say I don't have the time. The time is there. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. How do you utilize that time? Like I said, if you're in this game already, learn the game, right? Imagine if you're somebody who is obligated naturally to play soccer every single day, right? Do you want to be bad at it, or do you want to be good at it? You're playing it anyway, so might as well just learn how to play it well. Okay, so if you have any questions or any comments, just let me know. My phone number is 908-432-2526. I'd love to speak with people about this, because it changes people's lives. And leave a comment also if you want to here on this YouTube video, and I will post another video pretty soon. All right, take it easy.